So here we are in magical fog. Behind me it's WISTMAN'S forest. WISTMAN'S woods, sorry. I've driven through the night in dense fog. 3 hours of driving in fog, and thankfully it's here as well. So I've been shooting for about half an hour already. It's just been way too dark to film, and also I'm just way too excited. This place is unbelievable. I'll show you the shots I've taken so far, and now it's a little bit lighter. Hopefully we can shoot in and find some nice shots that I can talk through. But what conditions! I've not seen anyone else here as well. On Good Friday, bank holiday, I was expecting it to be busy, but you know, it's going to be a very good Friday. So I've just come up a couple of meters, very careful not to touch any of the moss on the boulders, but there's quite a few steps up. I'm just focusing in here on these two big old trees. So I framed it up, so I have this boulder here, just offset the balance on the right hand side. Focusing on this tree with the shot leading in to the one behind. So at the moment I'm shooting on aperture 7.5, ISO 100, it's about 2.5 second shutter speed. It's getting brighter, but there's a lot of fog around. So we've got this shot in the bag, and we shall continue, but you can't get better than this. First time at the location, so I know I'm not going to get the most out of it, but at the moment it's just yeah, it's otherworldly, actually otherworldly. I've just turned around in the same spot, and we have these trees coming out here by leading through this kind of gap in the boulders down into the background. Because these shapes are so gnarled and characterful, and they all kind of weave in together. I'm just looking to pick out shapes and different breaks in the light to draw the eye in. What I want to kind of achieve in these images is, whoever sees it, to kind of just want to go and walk into the scene. So we'll see how that comes out. I'm just going to weave my way back down and carry on down the woods. So I was just standing just here. I've literally walked 2 meters and now shooting up with this tree on the left here, this dominant tree on the right, this lovely curled over one in the middle. So I'm just shooting this in, and another shot in the bag. I'm just going to shoot so many today, but I'm sure these conditions will go quite soon. So before I came here, I was thinking, I wish I had an ultra wide angle lens, because I felt that would be the best to get right into it and up close. And while I still think that'd be quite cool, since I've been here, I've been using, well, I've been zooming into about 35mm, so about 56mm equivalent, just to take out any of the sky. So I'm still including the sky in shots because it's fog, but I don't want to have any gaps where there's no branches touching it. And I'm still shooting a little bit wider than I think I'll have it in the final image, and that's just to give me that leeway and I can crop it in post. But yeah, you could spend years here. There's just shots everywhere. So we're down to 1 second shutter speeds now. I was shooting on 20 seconds about 40 minutes ago, but I've just stopped again. I'm honestly walking about 3 meters and having to stop to take pictures. But we have these 2 trees here kind of connecting in this beautiful arch. Some really gnarled, tight, tucked in kind of branches behind. So yeah, another shot in. So I really like this shot, and it's I feel like it's quite different to what I've shot so far, because although, hey, the trees are pretty nice, but this shot is almost more of a focus on the boulders rather than the trees, and the trees just frame up this central gap which draws the eye in. So the way I look at the image, my eye kind of follows up, reads through these boulders, and I just want to follow it into the back, right into the woods. So I think it looks very inviting. Now I'm focusing in on the brightest boulder. It's about a third of the way into the image. Shooting on f7.1, about 1 second shutter speed now, a sixth of the second shutter speed. And yeah, it's in the bag. Really like that shot, really like it. Hopefully we'll find a few more we really like before the morning's over. The fog's not going anywhere, but it's getting brighter and brighter. But we're not going anywhere. After this, I'm going to be hiking up into the moors and camping out for the night. So I've just come up through this break in the woods, and this scene here is just unreal. So I think I'll get a few compositions here. At the moment, I'm shooting into this group here. The fog's a little bit thicker here, but it goes off with just, it's really nicely spaced. It's not so tight as on the other side. And I feel like once this was on a big screen or on a print, still gonna have all this detail. Your eyes just gonna fall away into the distance. And really, really nice. Now it's brighter. Got much warmer tones in. So from all the moss, it's we've got greens and yellows, and also some orange from the dead bracken. So whereas in the blue hour, it was obviously very blue tones, very dark, eerie. Now this is much warmer. There's obviously a lot more detail. The highlights on the boulders are picking up. It's really, really nice. It's a completely different feel to the images. Yeah, it's really warm as well. Very muggy, very humid. Funny that. So here I've shot in a bit wider than I want to go, so I'll probably crop down this into maybe a 16 by 9. But I'm really just working with these lovely spaced thinner trees here, and you just have these layers of branches going off into the background, lots of boulders, all the highlights picking up here on the moss. Just makes for a really nice image. Looks very well balanced on the back of the camera, to my eye at least. So let's yeah, take this a couple more times, swivel the camera, and then try and get something else. So as the morning progresses, the fog is rolling over in these waves, so at the moment it's thinned up a bit, and you get this really warm yellow tone come through. The sun has probably risen for about 45 minutes now, and it just transforms the feeling of the scene. It's really soft and warm glow to it. Now it's been going like this, and then a thick bit of fog comes over and it just brings the temperature right back down, back into the blue, cold blue tones. So when I find a shot now, I'm just weighing out a bit and trying to capture both, just to see how they compare. Now, this is probably my favourite spot so far. I say that every like 2 meters, but you have these much taller trees here, and they are absolutely coated head to toe in lichen and these little ferns that are growing. And all different kinds of mosses, and it looks amazing. It's shooting up into the centre frame, this big dominant tree curving over, central boulder, and some light breaking through from the top left. And it's another one in the back. So I'm focusing on the tree here up on the right hand side, and it's balanced out by this left hand tree here. You have the boulder in the middle, nice big gap up through here with the brightest sky, the light coming through and picking up the highlights in the boulders. Makes for a really nice image, I think. The bird song is just amazing. There's no traffic, can't hear any traffic. Got the stream behind. There's lots of little birds just dancing around the branches up here, singing along. I just can't believe I have this place all to myself as well, on a bank holiday Friday, because everyone wants a lion. But it was well worth the 1:45 start, 3-hour drive through the fog to get here. Well worth it. So this branch coming off across the frame here, right in the foreground, and then behind a very similar shape coming through. So I think this is going to be a 16 by 9 crop, nice tight in kind of letterbox style, just focusing in on these shapes that kind of complement each other. So we're a good hour after sunrise now. Fog does seem to be loosening a bit, but still really nice. So what I'm doing now it's a bit lighter, I'm shooting on a wider aperture where I can focus in on one or two trees and then gently blur out the background, which I really like this. It works well for fog. The reason I wasn't doing this earlier was because focusing when it was so dark was a bit of an issue. So narrow aperture just gave me that bit more wiggle room. These lovely shapes coming across with the tree up here, which kind of balances it out as everything's moving in this direction. Really nice warm tones. I'm focusing in right on the front branch. And yeah, another shot in the bag.